What's up, guys? The red light is on. Week 3 of Bet Bananas. Dave Van Auken, your host. UFC 53 Vegas. We are back at the UFC Apex. A really, really great main event, guys. We got Cheeto Vera and Rob Font. Super into it. But, guys, we're going to bring on our two stars of the show. We're going to bring her on first. She's unbeatable on her 3-fight parlay. She doesn't know how to lose on them. Undefeated, and she might have some in-depth details about one of the fighters on this week's card. Talking about the one and only Elle Wagman. What's up, Elle?
What's up, David? How are you?
Doing good, doing good. How are you?
Doing great.
Gonna be any little extra nervousness for a fight on this week's card? Just a little?
Oh, no, I'm good. No, a little bit, yeah. Absolutely.
Cool. We'll get into it. The third leg of our parlay. Ex-Bellator fighter, ex-American top team coach, the mighty Quinn himself, Ryan Quinn. How you doing, Ryan?
I'm good. What's up, guys? Good to see you. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, great to see you guys. This is I'm starting to like this. This is like a little ritual. You know what I mean? We're gonna talk more than we talk with one of our uncles. You know?
Yeah. It used to be Wednesday night wings, but this is better.
Okay.
We'll do Wednesday night wins instead. You know what I mean?
We can maybe while we do this.
That'd be one of if we lose a bet, if we're into it, maybe one of us eats like a super hot wing or something. Well, that's down the line, you know. But,
okay, yeah.
Guys, we have a stack card. I'm really into this card. There's a lot of fights. There's like 5 to 7 fights that are anywhere between 150 and 160 to plus money. Very close lines. The main event is ultra close. You can lean it anyway. It's a coin flip, I think. Heavyweight fight. We got the biggest favorite in UFC history on this card. So a lot of stuff to get into. We've done this a couple times. Elle, we're going to start with you, of course, with our absolute best bet on this card, UFC Vegas 53. Elle, take it away. What's your best bet on the board?
My best bet is actually a very dear friend of mine, Gina Mazzani. Okay. I think that Gina absolutely gets it done this Saturday against Shanna Young. Shanna struggled with good wrestlers in the past. Gina is incredibly strong. She has great takedowns, like she showed against Priscilla Cachoeira, which I still think she would have won that fight had it not been stood up. Shanna Young is just coming off of a loss against Stephanie Egger. I think the fight is going to go very similarly to that fight as well.
Very cool. I like that bet as well. And just to kind of give my guy Ryan Quinn a big plug, I watched his show early about his over-unders. This fight is going 15 minutes, right? Am I able to say that? I think this is a 15-minute fight guarantee. Am I right?
I have this fight going 15 minutes.
Okay. Sounds good. Ryan, my guy, what is your best bet on the board?
I gotta lay it down with you, Elle. I got Gina Mazzani going over Shanna Young for so many reasons. Actually, Elle, I had never told you this. I'm a huge Glory MMA fan, and actually, this card is Glory ATT Glory, whatever I'm saying, because I just love James Krause and everything that he's doing over there, and I just think that she's going to be well trained. Shanna's coming down, I believe, to 125 too, coming off the loss, like you said. She's and just Gina's got the great experience. I have this, like you said, going the over, and Gina Mazzani for the victory.
Absolutely.
Guys, I'm loving it. And she's at minus 180. This is what I'm saying. A lot of fights that we've been talking about over the last 2 weeks and of our best bets, been minus 350 and 325, which is okay. So if you win, we still win money. She's at minus 180. I think we got some value here at minus 180. Both best bets on the board. I'm into that.
Oh, yeah.
All right. We got our best bet. Probably one of my favorite things we do. We're talking about an underdog play. We got to go on that plus money. Let's win someone an underdog. Elle, take it away. What's your best underdog play of the card?
My underdog is actually going to be Tristan Connolly on this fight. Darren Elkins is always a hard guy to bet against because he's just so incredibly tough. He's so hard to finish. But Tristan Connolly is a good wrestler. He has the ability to grind him out for 15 minutes. And I think somebody who can take Darren Elkins down and just lay on him for 15 minutes is the guy that beats Darren Elkins. It's decent odds. There's not a lot of huge underdogs other than, of course, Chase Sherman. And I got to say, side note, I by no means think that Chase Sherman is going to beat Romanov in this fight. But at those odds, you have to throw $10 on that.
Have to.
Has to be an underdog bet that you make on this card.
Have to. And, not trying to steal any of your guys' thunder. You guys are the stars. I'm the quarterback. I just want to throw you guys touchdowns. any parlay, any kind of 2 or 3 fights that you like, you add Chase Sherman with a little $10 added to his parlay, those numbers explode. Like you think we're at plus 450 or 650 on a 3 or 4 fight parlay, add Chase Sherman to that parlay and just see the numbers go bananas. So I like that with Chase. But my guy Ryan, what is your best underdog bet on this card?
Real quick, got to call Audible. I know, speaking about laying some money down on, I know I was crapping all over Mike Jackson last week. Like that was the sure bet. And all my friends, one of my friends laid down $100 and came home with 750. And I was like, oh, like, yeah, that whole thing screwed up my whole thing. But my underdog it's underdog bet now. My underdog bet, I'm sticking with Glory MMA, going with Mike Breeden. I like that again for both the training, the coaching staff, as well as the experience over Natan Levi. Natan, I think he's coming off a loss as well. I just really like Mike in that fight from what I've seen previously, and I'm going with him as my underdog bet.
I think that's a great pick, man. Like I'm pretty sure they're both 0-1 in the UFC, but you got to compare those losses. Like Natan Levy, he lost to, I wrote it down earlier. I'm trying to remember his name off the top of my head. But, man, Mike, Rafa Garcia. He lost to Rafa Garcia with a full camp. Garcia's good, don't get me wrong. But when you compare that to a short notice loss against Alex Hernandez, man, those aren't even by any means. And Breeden is a very dangerous guy. I think that's a solid bet.
Wow, I like that. And same thing, guys. Both of it was at plus 155. That's what I'm talking about. Like that's, as an underdog play, plus 150, I like that number. That's when you get into plus 200s and 230s, that's usually a 15 to an 18% chance to win. Plus 155, I think even the betting odds are saying we got 35 chance to win. And maybe like they're saying they're sometimes, us, because we're in it, we know some inside information, like you guys just said, with short notice fights and who they're fighting and why, and maybe something happened in camp. So, I like that as well. Okay, we're rolling. We are rolling. 2 good underdogs. You guys had the both on the same bet. Elle, you have been undefeated on this 3-fight parlay 2 weeks in a row. This is week 3 for it. What you got? What's your 3-fight parlay?
So my 3-fight parlay was hard this week. I wanted to put Grant in it, but he told me not to bet on him. He said it's bad juju. So I am taking Gina and Shannon Young for the over.
Okay.
I could see that fight actually ending in the 3rd round. I think Shannon will break over those 3 rounds, but I definitely think it'll go the over. I'm taking Font in the main event by decision, and then the last leg of my parlay is actually Gabe Green.
Wow.
I've been back and forth on that fight a lot, but I've been looking up Lanesi and looking up Gabe Green, and if Yohan Lanesi doesn't get that done in that 1st round, I think he's going to gas incredibly hard. Gabe Green is actually pretty defensively sound and has fought huge power punchers in the past in Phil Rowe and D-Rod. He went to decision with Daniel Rodriguez and Philip Rowe, and pieced Philip Rowe up over 3 rounds. Used the leg kick well. I'm going to take cardio over danger factor in that fight.
Wow, I like that. We'll definitely we'll have 2 or 3 minutes with Font and Vera coming up. We'll definitely got to get into that. And of course, we might talk about a lightweight fight, really close to Elle's heart. But Ryan, take it away. 3-fight parlay. What you got, my man?
Yeah, okay. I'm going to stick to that with Gina in the over as well. The next one down, I got Christoph Jocko over Gerald Mearstraft. I forgot his name. I'm horrible with names,
GM3.
Christoph just has a way of winning those fights. He can control the fights. Plus, Gerald he's kind of a slow starter, so I feel like he's already going to eat round 1. And Christoph, I know just from training with him against somebody who's grappler friendly, he's really hard to range. So I just feel like he's going to control the distance and win that fight standing. Again, going the over. The next one I have is I'm going to dip into it. I got Grant Dawson on the 3rd leg of my parlay.
There we go. There we go.
I love as I told you, the ATT Glory hybrid, and on top of it, that new gym feel, I know what that's like when you're there and you're so ready to show off your new toys and everything. And I just really like it. He's a favorite going in regardless. And that's what I got for my 3.
There
awesome. We go.
Yeah.
All right. Elle, let's start with there. The elephant is in the room. fiance Grant Dawson. I talked to him 3 days ago. I think he was awesome. Like, he was in great spirits. He looked wonderful. I was like, Grant, you 156 already, my man? He looks clean, looks tan, had a smile on his face, chewing bubble gum. I thought he looked terrific. You guys made a major move, major life, family move down here. How is everything going? ATT, Ryan, I heard the same thing. Felicia Spencer made that comment about, like, he wants to show off. American Top Team, big gym, big names. He wants to make a statement. Are you kind of in that same bubble?
Absolutely, yeah. This is the absolute best I've ever seen him. He is in the best shape I've ever seen him. He's leaner than I've ever seen him. I think this weight cut's going to be a breeze for him. Like, he's ready. Like, his cardio's good. His grappling's been good. He's been getting great rounds in the gym. He's got some of the toughest guys in the world to train with. And I think being there with Jocko as our teammate now, I'm super excited to watch him fight as well. I think being there with the teammate, with the whole team there, Andre's fighting as well. I think he's just ready to go. I'm really excited.
Who's in Grant's corner, by the way?
It'll be Mike Brown, Thiago Alves, and Thiago Moises. So Moises has been one of his main corner partners. That's a killer corner, right?
And,
Hall of Fame coach, Hall of Fame fighter, like top 15 guy. Like, come on.
Elle, I gotta say, like, when I was at American Top Team, like, it's kind of like the way I put it is, like, I didn't go to a big college. I didn't go to a very big high school. This was like my alma mater, so to speak, was American Top Team. Like, I was just so proud to be part of that program. And I know you're feeling it right now. Like, you're part of something special. And seriously, you guys, the two of you, just really enjoy the ride. You're already doing all the right things. So yeah, just enjoy the ride. Yeah,
it's so exciting to be there every single day.
Amazing. You're doing great work with You Want to Check. There's some great stuff. We are so excited for you personally in your career. But that's, like I said, another story for another day. My last thing I'll say with Grant Dawson, it's tough picking fights because always you're going to shaft one guy or one girl and they're going to feel upset about it. But this is just my assumption of the fight. Grant Dawson entering his prime. Like I said, it looks great. I just think Grant Dawson's a little like this. And I know Jared Gordon's on a 3-fight win streak. I just think he's been around a long time, a lot of miles on. I just think, like, he's going this way a little bit. And I just think they're going to pass. I think it's a little bit of passing the torch. Grant, after this, he's like in that. He's borderline top 15, top 17. And I talked to him, a couple of days ago on the podcast. I was like, God damn, Grant, can you get into another weight class? That damn weight class is murderer's row after that. Like, there's just killer after killer at 155.
No easy fights. Yeah.
No easy fights. All right. We went 13 minutes. You mentioned fought once, a part of your 3-fight parlay. I really want to talk about this. This fight is just spectacular. Like, this fight, we talked about, main events over the last 2 weeks. Like, they weren't like the fight of the night or the cool, sexy fight. This is the cool, sexy fight and probably the fight of the night. And it's the main event, 25 minutes, Font and Vera. And let me throw out my little nugget. So, talking to Ryan right before we got in, I was leaning Rob Font when they made the fight. He's the favorite. Been there before, maybe a couple more main events, just maybe been around a little bit more. And then I heard this nugget and I really looked into it. So, Font fights on average, in between fights, it's around 10 to 12 months. He's kind of a guy that fights, once a year, sometimes twice a year with the calendar, right? And this fight with Jose Aldo, and, no disrespect to Font at all, it was a bad night for Font. Aldo really put it on him. Major damage, major hit downs, knockdowns. It was a bad night for Font. That was on April 21st. I mean, I'm sorry, guys, December 4th. And they're fighting April 30th. That's only like a 4-month turnaround. This is the shortest turnaround of Font's career, almost in the UFC. And now you're going against Aldo to Vera. And then Vera, when he fought Aldo, lost to him. But that was in December of 2020. Like, he's kind of rebooted himself already. He's got 2 wins since that and fought in November. So he has a whole nother extra month to rest his body. And he looked good against Frankie in round 3. He put Frankie Edgar, a legend, into the realm of the darkness. So it's, I don't know, guys. I was leaning Font, but when I heard that nugget and looked into it, guys, Vera he's 4 years younger. He might lose round 1, maybe round 2, but I think 3, 4, and 5 are Vera's all the way. I think I'm leaning underdog Cheeto Vera in the main event.
All right. Well, I'm going to sway you back this way real quick. Rob Font has never lost 2 fights in a row. And I know he's had a little bit of a layoff. I mean, I know he's usually fought on a little bit of a layoff. He's kind of at a point where he's got to do it. He's not really in the point where, hey, UFC, I need 2 or 3 months. As soon as after a week, he's probably like, I'm fresh. I better get back in the gym. Plus, I'm telling you, after coming off a loss, trust me, I know I've lost enough. You want to get back in that gym, so, that I would shave 2 months off that layoff right there.
Okay.
And that being said, I really feel like who establishes the jab is going to win this fight. And Rob is very good at that. I also do my live line lookouts. This fight is a live line lookout. You watch whatever's going on on the second half of round 2.
Yep.
Throw in your live line bets. But I have Rob winning this fight simply for what I just said.
I agree with you, man. I think Rob is also more defensively sound. Like statistically, he does get hit less than Cheeto. Okay. And I don't know that Cheeto can drop Rob the way Aldo did. Aldo is incredibly accurate. And man, dude's an absolute technician. Like he's a technician. I don't think Cheeto has the style to do that to Rob Font. I think his movement, his angles, he's going to be really hard to hit clean. I know Cheeto just knocked out Frankie Edgar, but man, I love Frankie Edgar. I'm such a huge fan of Frankie, but he's definitely on the downturn, man. Like he's at the end of his career. He's old. He doesn't move the way he used to. He's not as fast. I feel like if Cheeto had fought old Frankie Edgar, it would have been a different story. And I think Rob Font is actually stylistically a lot like old Frankie Edgar. And I think that in and out, his jab is so quick. I really think we're going to have a super fun 5 minutes of Rob Font jabbing the crap out of Cheeto Vera.
So you're saying the 2 fighters that fight for a living and no inside information, and the one guy that talks for a living with decent hair and just heard one nugget is off? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying we're bananas about Rob Font.
I'm telling you, like I said, as soon as it was announced, I was like, oh, I lead Font. I think Font is like one of these. He's like a little bit like Volkanovski. I think we mentioned that Elle a couple weeks ago. Just kind of underrated. Doesn't talk a lot. Not loud. Not on social media a lot. Just a top 5 guy in the division for multiple years now. Just underrated, underappreciated. And Vera, let's just be honest. Vera beat Sugar Sean O'Malley. He's got a look to him, got a pizzazz to him. He did fight Jose. He just beat Frankie, flicking off the crowd, kicking him in the face. Like, he's just kind of more of a moment guy, kind of bigger. So, like, I think he's got more pub behind him. And, I guess I got persuaded. I don't know. Maybe I think you guys got me back on Font.
You could be right, man. You could absolutely be right. They're both on a tear. I definitely think Rob Font's, other than obviously they both fought Aldo, the other 3 of their last 4, I think Font has had the tougher opponents.
Yeah.
I don't think much of Sugar Sean O'Malley. I don't think he beats most of the guys in the top 15 personally.
I'm with you on that. I'm still waiting to be convinced. I'm not a hater, but I'm still waiting to be convinced on Sugar Sean. But I'm sure that's something else we can.
Similar to how I was about Kamzat. I need to see more.
Yeah. Wow, that's another show. Maybe he'll fight during the summer. Maybe July he'll be on the card, and then we can really break that down. Guys, another amazing night. Ben Bananas, Ryan Quinn right there, Elle Wagman. Elle, I know you probably don't want me to say this, but we are very high. We are rooting for Grant Dawson a lot. We can be biased. It's all right. It is what it is. We're fans. We're friends of him, and we wish you guys nothing but the best. And what are you guys going to eat after he wins? What's the meal when he flies back? What's the meal that we're going to?
Well, he sent me to Walmart today to pick up about 4 different kinds of ice cream sandwiches that are now in our freezer, as well as pretzels and Nutella. So, but I think we're going to find a nice, we haven't really checked out very many restaurants down here yet. So we'll find ourselves a really good steakhouse.
Tell Dan Lambert to take you guys to Shima. That's the spot.
I'll let him know.
Dude, that's inside information. Grant feels really good. He's telling his fiance to get ice cream sandwiches. Woo! We just got the juice right there. Guys, you guys are the best. Saturday night, ESPN Plus, a stack card. We got Gina all over this thing on the over. Nice 3-fight parlay. Both underdogs I'm liking a lot, plus in that 155 range via DraftKings. And then we got Grant Dawson in a big featured bout. We got Arlovsky. We didn't even mention the legend Arlovsky. Oh, yeah. He's only a plus 135. He's actually one of my favorite bets on the card. The guy just wins fights. Like, he's just winning fights. Jake Collier, that's a big step. That's a big step for Collier to Arlovsky. I like Arlovsky a lot. And this main event is absolute fireworks. So we got a good one, guys. We got a good one on our hands Saturday night.
I agree. Let's do it.
Any last words from you guys?
Sorry?
Any last words?
No, let's just win some fights. Let's win some bets.
Let's win some money. Elle Wagman, you're the best. Undefeated stud. Ryan Quinn, check him out. The Cornerman _MMA. I'm Dave Van Auken. That was Bet and Bananas week